violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Arrest in the case of what could be the work of a serial killer leaving body parts around Brooklyn. Police now say they found a human head and an electric saw inside the suspect's apartment in East New York. Just down the block, a torso was discovered last week, and not far from there, a leg was found on Monday.
Wow. So this super gremlin, whoever they are, is really dismembering people in a central area. This is just careless. Like, they wanted to get caught.
The suspect has served prison time twice before killing 2 different girlfriends.
Whoa. And this is weird. This actually looks like an older woman, but this is actually a man. And honestly, the tan is throwing me off. But either way, they're a gremlin nonetheless.
Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager is live in the neighborhood. Stacey?
Well, Sade, this is a case that's gotten creepier and creepier by the day around here. And now this alleged serial killer has been indicted yet again for murder. She is accused of dumping body parts around this neighborhood.
Wow, and they're still calling him a she. Even when this gremlin has done the most despicable thing, dismembering women and placing them across the street in Brooklyn, dumping them rather, they still don't want to misgender the gremlin.
And what police found here inside her apartment, well, that was beyond awful. It was a series of grisly discoveries here in East New York that began a week ago. First, a woman's limbless torso was found here at Pennsylvania and Atlantic Avenues in a multicolored bag in an abandoned shopping cart. But then here on Jamaica Avenue nearby, in some trash, what was believed to be the same woman's leg. And so the question, who was dumping the body parts? Surveillance videos retrieved on the block had investigators tracking Harvey Marcelin, a serial killer seen in this photo from DailyMail.com.
So this is a transformer serial killer. Contrary to popular belief, when they're saying, oh, stop violence against transformer women, this is a transformer inflicting violence on regular women. This is a man going around murdering women and dismembering them with the guise of, you know, acting as if he was a transformer.
Mail.com. Marcelin, transgender, identifies as a woman, but is now 83 years old. According to court documents, Marcelin's victim, referred to as Jane Doe, was seen on this surveillance camera entering Marcelin's apartment building here on Pennsylvania Avenue.
So what prison does Harvey go to? Male or female prison? Let me know in the comments below.
With her distinctive multicolored bag. But the victim never left here alive. Police say Marcelin spent more than 50 years in prison for 2 other killings of former girlfriends.
So as you can see, the rehabilitation didn't work. This gremlin spent 50 years in prison. I don't even know how this gremlin got out. I mean, seriously.
One he shot in 1963 and one he stabbed in 1985. The first officer at the scene of that 1985 murder, Robert Boyce. He went on to become the NYPD's chief of detectives and is now an ABC News contributor.
He dismembers the body and he puts it out in the street, not far from where he lives. I don't care how old he is. If it was a compassionate release because of his age.
And shout out to this officer for not saying she. Okay, this is a man. And as much as you Transformers want to go on about how you are a woman, you feel like a woman, it ain't gonna change. The fact that an 83-year-old man can overtake a woman, it's still it don't matter if the man is in 5th grade, like I showed you guys. Well, that wouldn't be a man. If the kid is in 5th grade, the super toddler gremlin, the video that I showed you, it doesn't matter. Okay?
Age, he's still dangerous.
And it was earlier this week, police with a warrant searched Marcelin's apartment, finding the unthinkable, his latest victim's head and an electric saw. You can only imagine how people who live in this building were reacting today.
Oh, wow, how could such a thing happen?
Oh my God. I have a son, so this is very shocking. You know, I live here, I just moved.
You know, it's just amazing. What are we going to do about these psychologically impaired people?
Psychologically impaired. I mean, I do agree. If you have somebody who is claiming to be another sex that they weren't born with, then I definitely think that's a psychologically impaired person, how the brother said it here.
And Harvey Marcelin served 2 lengthy prison sentences, was released on parole in 2019, and you can bet that police are trying to search anyone else in her life who may have disappeared since then as they continue to investigate the case. Police have not formally identified her victim in this case, but they say she was a 68-year-old who lived in a shelter in Brooklyn. But once again, Harvey Marcelin now indicted in a 3rd murder, indicted for 2nd-degree murder late today. We're live in East.
Break in a gruesome murder. A twice-convicted killer is now charged with murdering again and dismembering the latest victim. The woman's torso was found in a Brooklyn trash heap 1 week ago. A leg was found in another location on Monday, and her head in the suspect's apartment. Harvey Marcelin is the suspect. He's 83 years old. Marcelin spent more than 50 years in state prison on murder and manslaughter convictions dating back to 1963 and was released from prison just 3 years ago.
So, at what time did this Transformer gremlin change his gender?
This was Rana Lavini is live in Cypress Hills with the other disturbing discoveries the police made. Rana.
And Chuck, we have to tell you that that suspect is now charged in this case with 2nd-degree murder. This is where the suspect lived. It's just less than a block away from where that torso was found dumped in an abandoned shopping cart. Police say that surveillance video shows the victim entering the suspect's apartment here back on February 27th. They say she never left the building, but the suspect did 3 days later, police believe, with the victim's body in bags.
Wow. New York is crazy right now. It's insane. And this kind of stuff is happening over and over again where bodies are just being dumped on the street. In this case, it's body parts.
83-year-old Harvey Marcelin has spent most of her life in state prison. Now, after just 3 years.
Why are they calling? She just did it again. Most of her life. This is a man. And he killed 3 women. And y'all are still calling this Transformer gremlin a she. I'm telling you guys, these Transformer gremlins are on demon time.
Out on parole, she's back in custody in connection to the death of 68-year-old Susan Layden. Police say Layden's decapitated torso was found in a garbage bag last week, dumped in an abandoned shopping cart near Atlantic and Pennsylvania Avenues. According to a criminal complaint filed with the Brooklyn DA's office, surveillance video led officers to Marcelin's apartment nearby. Inside, they found a decapitated head and saw blades. Police arrested Marcelin, who served time for the deaths of 2 other women decades ago.
That's crazy to let people out like that and sick like that. And
right. How did this Transformer Gremlin even get out? You get charged for 2 murders, 54 years. You need life. Straight up. This is a killer. You ain't gonna rehabilitate that.
They out here hurting people out here.
They're letting them out very easy out of jail.
Earlier this week, police...
Whoa. Sus. This is what you asked for. Not to lock the kings up, and now that applies to everybody, even the Transformer gremlins.
They're letting them out very easy out of jail.
Earlier this week, police discovered a human leg near some trash on Jamaica Avenue. Police sources linking it to Layden.
Wow. And thank God the any Jamaican restaurant on Jamaica Ave didn't take that leg and try and make some jerk leg chicken, you know what I mean?
Marcelin, who identifies as a transgender woman, was first convicted of murder in
Who identifies? Cut the crap.
1963 for the shooting death of an ex-girlfriend. In 1984, she was freed on lifetime parole. And by 1986, she was convicted of manslaughter.
I cannot get past the fact that they're still saying she. When this Transformer gremlin, I mean, are they going to go to a male prison or a female prison?
In the stabbing death of...
Because if she goes to a female prison, she's going to terrorize those women.
Yet another ex-girlfriend. Her body found dumped near Central Park. In 2019...
And it looks like she's nasty with a knife, too. So she'll be right at home. But this is equality. This is the agenda that has been pushed. So honestly... You know, I feel bad for the victims, but at the same time, especially the recent one, I mean, if you're going up to a Transformers apartment building, then you definitely got to be woke.
Marcelin was released on parole again.
I'm shocked. I'm devastated.
Harry Martinez says he'd often see Layden at the Stonewall House in Fort Greene. It's an LGBTQ plus housing community for senior citizens. Harry now shocked to learn of the loss of a neighbor.
I love this place, you know, and it's so heartbreaking to hear this kind of news.
Whoa, what do you mean like you love that place? Hold on. Pause. Pause. Big pause.
Breaking to hear this kind of news.
And police say the suspect and the victim knew each other, though the extent of their relationship is unclear. Police sources also tell us that tarot cards were found laid out on a table inside of the suspect's apartment. They're investigating whether or not that played a factor in the motivation for this alleged killing. Reporting live in Cypress Hills, Rana Novini, News 4 New York.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
New details in that horrific case out of Brooklyn. Police now arresting an 83-year-old man in connection with the dismemberment of a victim.
There we go. There we go. Correct genders all the way. Thank you.
Detectives also say they made more disturbing discoveries as they searched the victim's apartment in Brooklyn. Electric saws and a human head. Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager is live in East New York with the latest. Stacey.
Well, Charlene, it's a story that's gotten creepier by the day, and we do hope to get more from the NYPD as it develops. But we can certainly say this. People who live in this building, they had no idea a serial killer was living here as well. Now, this is where it all started here in East New York. It was last week. A woman's torso was discovered in a multicolor bag in an abandoned shopping cart. This is Pennsylvania Avenue near Atlantic Avenue. Then a few days later, and a few blocks away here on Jamaica Avenue, a leg is found, a woman's leg from the knee down in the trash. Police were looking at surveillance cameras and they see a woman enter number 50 Pennsylvania Avenue with that same distinctive multicolored bag. It had a sticker on it. That was back on February 27th, but she's never seen leaving the building. They obtain a search warrant for the apartment of 83-year-old Harvey Marcelin, who identifies as a transgender woman. This photo from dailymail.com. Marcelin having served more than 50 years in prison for 2 other separate convictions for killing 2 other women, according to court documents.
These women do not know what they're inviting in when they are inviting these transformers to identify as women. I mean, look at the sports. You have the swimmer who's dominating the women. They're saying it's not fair. There was a man who was competing in female track events. Look, I got sisters, and if I saw them competing against a man in high school, I would be pissed.
Police who entered his home then found the woman's head and an electric saw. You can just imagine how others in this building are reacting today.
Oh my God. I have a son, so this is very shocking. You know, I live here, I just moved. This is very, oh my God, oh my God. So crazy.
So it's a lot to process.
Yeah, like I live here, I have to come here. This is crazy. Like, oh my goodness.
And Harvey Marcelin is currently at Rikers Island. She is charged with concealment.
Whoa. See, what I've noticed is the women continue to say, oh, she, but the male reporters are saying he. So this is a man. He was preying on women, and you're still defending him. This is the liberal mindset. This is the leftist mindset. But I'm here to tell you that these transformer gremlins are on demon time.
Currently at Rikers Island, she is charged with concealment of her.
So she made the mistake of saying he, which was correct, and then she corrected it to she. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is insane. Run that back.
Oh my goodness.
And Harvey Marcelin is currently at Rikers Island. She is charged with concealment of a human corpse. The charge could obviously escalate to murder as investigators wait for a report from the medical examiner's office. We should also point out the victim in this case is identified as Jane Doe in court documents. She's believed to be a 68-year-old woman from a nearby homeless shelter. We're live in East New York. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Over the last few days, police made one gruesome discovery after another. First, a woman's torso was found in a multicolored bag in a shopping cart here on Pennsylvania Avenue in East New York. Then a few days later, just a few blocks away on Jamaica Avenue, a woman's leg was found. Police are now saying this was the work of a serial killer. Surveillance video led police to this apartment building where they saw a woman carrying that same multicolored bag going in the building. Sources tell Pix 11 News, 83-year-old Harvey Marcelin, a transgender woman.
Why didn't the transformer change that masculine name to a feminine name? It's just it's just to get closer to women. And I'm not saying this is all transformers, but most transformers transform in order to get closer to women because they know that women are going to accept them and men aren't, typically, you know, unless they're weird guys. But it's crazy.
Was the person seen on the video. So police obtained a warrant for her apartment. Court documents show they found a woman's head and electrical saws inside Marcelin's apartment. Whitney Wade works at the building where Marcelin lives.
Honestly, I was shocked because he is pretty pleasant.
While residents here are trying to grasp what police found inside an apartment where...
Well, at least the sister said he, right? At least she's a you know, in tune with reality.
Learning more about Marcelin, who spent more than 50 years in prison for killing 2 different women, ex-girlfriends. First in 1963, in that case, Marcelin received 20 years to life in prison. After being released on lifetime parole, Marcelin was convicted again in 1986 for manslaughter. This time, the victim's body was found in a bag near Central Park. In 2019, Marcelin was released from prison. For now, she's accused of concealing a corpse. Sources say more charges may come. Did you see anything or notice anything suspicious?
Not at all. Caught us all off guard.
Back at Marcelin's building, where police are getting more clues, this woman is just moving in, and she's now questioning that decision.
They got people moving in here with something that happened like that. People have kids that's moving in here. Like, this has got me. I really want to turn around and go somewhere else now.
The latest in a case that we first told you about last week. There has been an arrest in connection to body parts found in East New York, Brooklyn. Investigators say a suspect is being charged, and CBS 2's Andrea Grimes has more.
Oh, wow, how could such a thing happen?
Disbelief and terror outside 50 Pennsylvania Avenue in East New York, Brooklyn. Residents and building workers learned an 83-year-old tenant, previously convicted of killing 2 women, was arrested again, charged with concealment of a human corpse.
I think it's horrible, but that's all I know. It is very upsetting, it's very disturbing, yes.
Police initially discovered a woman's torso in a bag last Thursday morning down the block at the intersection of Pennsylvania and Atlantic Avenues. The criminal complaint says surveillance cameras captured tenant Harvey Marcelin walking out of the building and leaving that bag at the corner. The complaint goes on to say, quote, a search warrant was executed for the defendant's residence wherein a human head was discovered.
Holy crap. And in the other video, they said the Transformer Gremlin had like some tarot cards or something like that. So I don't know if this is like some voodoo stuff but I mean, obviously these Transformer Gremlins are on demon time.
Yeah. All I can say is a horrible, and it's.
Yeah. You're speechless.
Yeah, it is.
New York State records show Marcelin was convicted of murder in 1963 for shooting a woman to death, sentenced to 20 years to life in prison, and released in 1984. In 1986, Marcelin was convicted of manslaughter for stabbing a second woman to death and was just released again in 2019 to now be accused here.
Just thinking about that is just scary.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what?
Right now, Marcelin is being held without bail on that one charge, but the DA's office says charges could be upgraded as this investigation continues. In East New York, Brooklyn, Andrea Grimes, CBS 2 News.
And moments ago, we did learn that those charges have been upgraded. The suspect now charged with murder. It's unclear, though, how this suspect and the 68-year-old victim knew each other at this time, and the victim's name has not yet been released.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work.